Hello, and welcome to Marketplace with Charles, brought to you by Art of Skincare. Art of Skincare, the company that brings out the beauty in you. I am Charles Ngobeni. On Marketplace, we aim to empower, encourage, and equip you with the right tools needed to move closer to you achieving your entrepreneurial dreams, your goals, your aspirations. Each week we bring you insights from experts in different fields of business, from men and women of faith, also from ordinary people from all walks of life. Today we bring you yet another expert in the field of agriculture. Agriculture forms a major part of the backbone of any economy, meaning that without a lively agricultural sector, the economy is bound to suffer in more ways than one. My guest in studio today is Ms. Hlamalani Ngwenya. She has been in this field for many, many years and possesses vast experience, not just in your traditional agriculture, but in more attractive aspects of the field that are bound to leave you jostling for a place in this field that has not yet been afforded the glamour that it actually deserves. You see, viewers, it has been said that, and I believe this with all my heart, that the next billionaires will come out from the agricultural sector. There is a saying that not all that glitters is gold. The agricultural sector perfectly fits this saying because it does not exhibit those qualities so that people will be caused a stampede running towards it and wants to do agriculture. We all want to run away from the debt. But lucrative as it may be, leaves you dirty from the dust as you wrestle with the soil, forcing the soil to create or to produce the food that we need for our survival. The workforce in that part of the sector is slowly aging and fading away. Young people who hold the future unfortunately do not find the sector attractive enough. They want to live in the cities and never in the farmlands. My guest will today open up a whole new perspective in this field that I'm so excited about, and I hope you benefit from this. Ms. Ngwenya, welcome to Marketplace with me, Charles.
Thank you, and thank you to the viewers.
I know the viewers there that can't wait to hear from you. Do you mind to take a few minutes and introduce yourself, who you are, where you come from, and your background?
Thank you. My name is Hlamalani, which means be surprised.
Yes, be surprised.
Yes, and my surname is Ngwenya, which means crocodile. So I'm Be Surprised Crocodile.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice one.
I started working as a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I worked at high school. I studied nutrition. Mm-hmm. And I came to the agricultural sector through the nutrition pathway. Mm-hmm. And that makes it very interesting because a lot of people think of agriculture from the narrow perspective of farming. Mm-hmm. But I came into the agricultural sector through the nutrition pathway. I worked a lot at the College of Agriculture in Limpopo, at Dompiseleka.
Yes.
But since 2004, I've been working internationally. So I'm known as an international development consultant, but I also teach at the University of Pretoria part-time.
Oh, great.
And also teach at the University of Free State, also in the agricultural space. But I also work with a lot of different actors within the agricultural space at national level, at regional level, also at global level. And I'm excited to really share with the viewers what this field of agriculture have, especially for the young people, for our country, but also from elsewhere. And I'm excited to walk the path with you.
You see, viewers out there at home, this is Marketplace. We only bring you the experts. Open up your ears and never forget what I said initially, that the next billionaires will come out of agricultural sector. Hlamalani, tell us, how did you develop this interest that keeps you so busy in this sector?
Okay, like I said initially, that I came to agriculture, probably normal, I will say I came through the back door.
Yes.
Because when we think about agriculture, we think of farming, but I'm not a farmer, but I'm a very important player, and I contribute a lot in the whole sector.
In the agricultural sector, yeah.
Yes. Like I said, that I studied nutrition and the community nutrition part of it. And I worked at the College of Agriculture. When I was working there, I did a lot of outreach programs.
Yeah.
That's where I was working with rural communities. And as a result, I developed a lot of passion because that was the College of Agriculture. Then I started teaching what we call agriculture extension. So you bring agriculture, but with outreach. So that's how I actually came into that space. And throughout the years, I started experimenting. I did a lot of training on systems and the like. And I really began to understand that agriculture is actually an innovation system. It's a system. While we have farming, but there are a lot of other functions that need to be there in order to support that primary production. And I started expanding on that. And I also saw the need. There was a demand for this kind of work that I'm doing, facilitation, not only in South Africa, but all over the world. And that's where I found my niche and said, oh, okay, actually, coming to the agricultural sector, you don't necessarily have to come through the primary production, but there are many other functions. And unfortunately, that is what a lot of people do not see as opportunities to come into the agricultural sector.
And tell me, what prompted you to dig so deep into what agriculture has to offer?
I always believe that in order for one to understand the system, you have to be part of it. If you would have asked me when I was doing my nutrition, if you had asked me if I would end up in agriculture, I would have said no. But because I became part of the system, then I realized that, oh, okay, there are some gaps here, there are some opportunities here, and that prompted me to dig deeper. Even today, I'm not stopping, because the more I engage with the agricultural system as well, that's when I begin to see where the gaps are, where the opportunities are. And I've taken also upon it myself to actually expose other people who are not part of that system. And I'm not looking back. I'll be staying in the agricultural sector and really peddling and seeing where the opportunities are, and really helping also other people to see what I see from that perspective.
Look, you have dedicated your efforts in wooing the young people to fall in love with this sector. What do you feel is so special about it?
Okay, I have passion for young people. Like I said, I'm a teacher by profession, and being a teacher, you have to love young people or the youth. And once I entered into the agricultural space, I begin to engage a lot with young people, even people that are taking agriculture as a course, either at high school level. Sometimes I ask them, where do you see yourself with agriculture? They say, oh, no, I just take it because it's a subject that is being provided, but I don't want to be a farmer. And the more I engage with young people, they said, no, we love agriculture, but we don't want to be a farmer. And that's where I saw where the gap is. Agriculture, it's not only about farming. Farming is a very important aspect of agriculture. Like when you take a human body, it has got different parts. Farming could be the heart of agriculture, but you need hands, you need legs, you need many other parts that makes this body as a system. And these are the things that a lot of young people do not see. And my passion, and over the years, I've already seen that I'm able to bring the different young people who do not necessarily see farming as their passion, but maybe they're doing ICTs, or they're doing theater, they're doing communications, and many other things which I would like to unpack. To say, yes, agriculture is there, but it needs a lot of support functions that could be lucrative for young people. And the other one is also we have done a lot of studies that shows why young people are not interested in agriculture. Especially when you come from the smallholder farming system, where they see their mothers and their grandmothers doing agriculture, but they're not, generating any income out of it. They look at that and say, no, we don't want to be part of that. And now we're trying to bring, some success factors where they see agriculture as a career of choice, to see agriculture as something that they can actually be able to do, not something that they do at the background when they don't have anything else to do. So, and we see a lot of work in that space, and people are seeing those opportunities. Hence, I'm so passionate about bringing the young people to see this sector from a different view.
I like it. I like when you say you put it so simple that within the agricultural sector, back home. People, they do it, but they never reach.
Yep.
And that can discourage a lot of young people.
Yes.
And yet, that should be a sector which most of the people should be printing money out of it. I'm saying this because every morning you have to eat, every afternoon you have to eat, every evening you have to eat, every day of your life, unless you are fasting, of course, you should be eating.
Yep.
And that is the agricultural sector.
Exactly.
Thank you for staying with us, viewers. You are watching Marketplace with Charles. My guest today is Hlamalani Ngwenya. You heard her. She's an expert in this field. Stay tuned. We'll be back shortly. And she will be taking us further, discussing the perfect opportunities in agriculture. Welcome back to Marketplace with Charles. If you have joined us now, you have missed a little bit, but there's still more to come with my guest, Ms. Hlamalani Ngwenya. My guest is well experienced, has a vast of knowledge, and is an advocate for perfect opportunities in agriculture. She is here with me in the studio today. We are talking about the reasons why you should consider yourself missing out for not turning a blind eye on the opportunities that await you in this so natural yet enriching sector of agriculture. Ms. Ngwenya, you are all over the world. I followed you on your Facebook. One day you'll be in this country, the following day you'll be in another country. Some of us, we will love to visit these countries. But you have got an opportunity to be all over the country because of what you're doing, your love and your passion for agriculture. I see you use the word perfect opportunities in agriculture. What does perfect stand for?
Okay, thank you. I use the word perfect opportunities in agriculture, and I use perfect as an acronym.
Oh, so perfect is an acronym.
Yes,
Okay.
it's perfect opportunities.
But it's also perfect opportunities.
It is perfect opportunities, of course, but I also use it as an acronym.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm using it as an acronym, you know, in your introductory statement, you were saying that I travel a lot. It shows that agriculture is not only the issue for South Africa. Everybody in the world has to eat. Everybody in the world is innovating, trying to find different ways of, you know, bringing this sector and the benefit from this sector. Like I said, that the narrow perspective that of what we see agriculture, we see it from the narrow perspective of farming, but it goes beyond farming. So I use perfect as an acronym. I'll unpack, you know, the perfect.
Yes.
The P stands for policies. The E, I use it for education. The R, it's for research.
Yes.
Then you have the F, which is farming, and I could actually add another F, finance. Then you have the other E, we're looking at, you know, extension and advisory services. We have C, that is communications, and the T, it's the issues of trade and technologies. So a lot of people concentrate on the middle F to say, you know, this is farming. But there are different other functions and that makes, you know, the primary production more lucrative, or they support that. And this is where the missing link is. And a lot of people, when you see agriculture from that perspective, you can see that everybody has a role to play. Every young person who's got talent has a role to play in that sector. It's only when we understand this broader perspective of this sector where we can be able to attract more funding, where we can be able to attract young people, but also to really advocate for this sector in the manner that goes beyond farming only. And when I'm going to these different places, yes, either I'm going to engage in the policy dialogue somewhere, or it's about education, or it's about research, or it's about communications, or it's about trade. But all these things are happening all over the world. And something that I want to share is that the sector is so organized. It's either you are part of this organization where you understand where the issues are and find your niche there.
You know, with all honesty, with all my experience, the wealth of experience that I have in business, I took agriculture as farming. But with the acronym PERFECT, you have just opened my eyes. You know, and now I realize that had I used this acronym, PERFECT, in agriculture, I think I'll be very far today. But I was concentrating on the middle F, which is that farming, and forget about the rest of the letters on the acronym. But can you, in short, how does this come together?
Okay. Initially, I gave an example of the human body, where a body has got different parts.
Yes.
And when you look at agriculture
Which
as a system,
the heart.
yes, then we can say, yes, farming, because that's where the production happens.
Yes.
Probably that could be the heart of this body. But the heart cannot function without the legs. It cannot function without, you know, the hands. And for this human being to be complete as a human being, then all these different parts has to happen. When you look at the policy space, for example, I know people might have heard about things like the Millennium Development Goals, but we also talk about the Sustainable Development Goals. And this is the space that defines how the agricultural sector has to function. the policies that we develop either at national level or at regional level, they actually define how the different actors within the sector have to function together. And those policies have to be developed by people like me and you. And if our young people understand that space, they might find their niche. And the skills that they need to actually engage in that space, it's not necessarily farming, but they need to understand how the entire sector operate. They need to have skills for advocate.
Yes.
They need to be able to communicate. They need to be able to. So you need different qualities of people to occupy that space. When you look at education, it's very interesting to see how education is actually organized. I engage a lot in that space as well. All over the world, we have more than 700 universities that offers agriculture or agriculture-related courses. So we have universities in the country, but in the region, and all these universities, they also come together through different platforms. And once you are aware of how that works, then you can unleash, those potential and the opportunities. I spoke about the R. The R is even worse. We're talking about research. When you look at South Africa, we have what you call the Agricultural Research Council. That is a research institute at the national level. And all the different countries have got an equivalent of ARC. But when you go to the regional level inside the Agricultural Research Council,
okay, thank you.
So they focus on agriculture-related research. But when you go beyond South Africa, you come to the SADC level, for example. You have an institute called CADESA. That is a center for coordinating agricultural research in Southern Africa. So basically what they do, they focus on agricultural related research in the SADC country. When you look at East Africa, they have an equivalent of SADC. You look at West Africa, they have equivalent. But also when you go to the continental level, you have a forum called FARA. That is a Forum for Agricultural Research in Africa. They also focus mainly on agricultural related issues from the research perspective. And when you look at the different continents, they have the similar bodies, but now you also go to the global level and international level, and everything is so organized. So anybody who has got an interest in research, they need to understand how the research component in the agricultural sector is organized, and with that, they are able to see where the opportunities are, they are able to see where the gaps are, and then you can actually put yourself in a different space. For the F, farming, I'm not going to talk much about that because that's what everybody knows about. But I wanted to link the F, the other F of funding or finance. You can't believe that there are different donor agencies, even private sector, who has an interest in financing agriculture. They come together. We have what we call the Global Donor Platform, which has got more than 36, global donor agencies. Every year they come, they sit together and see, well, how can we actually finance the issues around agriculture? And we see a lot of private sector also coming into that space. Your Bill and Melinda Gates foundations are coming, who have an interest in financing the issues of agriculture. And once a person understands that space, then they know where the opportunities are. They know where the gaps are, and you can actually better position yourselves. I can go on and really unpack, the perfect concept. But everywhere, at national level, at regional level, there are people who have an interest in agriculture, and they support it from the different perspective. And it's only when you understand that space that you can know where the opportunities are. And this is the space that I'm engaging in within the perfect continuum.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. And the future indeed belongs to the organized. After the break, viewers, we'll wrap up this episode with my guest, Ms. Hlamalani Ngwenya, discussing the perfect opportunities that we have in agriculture. Stay with Choice. Welcome back to Marketplace with Charles. My guest is still Ms. Hlamalani Ngwenya, discussing the perfect opportunities in agriculture. Ms. Ngwenya, we have discussed the acronym PERFECT, which I believe most of our viewers have learned a lot out of it. You know, we mistaken agriculture as only farming, but there's more to agriculture than farming. And in fact, if personally and my father and my granddad had known this before, they'll be billionaires today. They'll have done agriculture the right way. Do you have anything that you can say to help the young people out there?
Yes, you know, like I said, that I was sharing a bit about the different organizations and the different functions that are there. And there are different organizations that are working along the perfect continuum. Interestingly, they all have programs on how to actually attract the youth into the sector.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get a lot of funding opportunities that are there. You get a lot of training opportunities that are there, because they also come to a realization that no, young people are not interested in the sector, and they are looking into the future and say, you know, if we don't pay attention to bringing the young people into that sector, what are we going to do? What is going to happen 10 years to come, 20 years to come? So there are a lot of, you know, training opportunities. There are a lot of, you know, funding opportunities. There are a lot of, you know, engagement opportunities where they actually calling for young people. It could be competitions. It could be in the issues of ICTs, you know, information communication technologies. We'd like to get young people, brilliant young people, to really contribute into that sector. While farming, it's a critical part.
Yes.
Yes, there are young people who are cut for that component, and there are a lot of, you know, initiatives out there to really support them. But also all these other functions that I'm talking about. And it's only when we are aware of these opportunities that you can actually be able to tap into that. And it's there. There are a lot. And these are some of the things that I'm actually working with. And sometimes the young people that know me, that I know, I really try to link them to these opportunities.
You know, I would like to hear more about these opportunities. But unfortunately, time is against us. I wish we had more time to elaborate on these opportunities. But can you promise our viewers that you are definitely coming back next week to discuss about these opportunities, and tell them to stay tuned? Look at them on that camera and tell them.
Okay, the viewers, like we said, the opportunities are there. You have to come back again. Watch the program next week. We'll be sharing more on concrete examples of where these opportunities lie and where you can actually engage. Thank you.
There you have it, viewers at home. We have just come to the end of yet another episode of Marketplace with me, Charles. We had a great time today with my guest, Ms. Hlamalani Ngwenya. You know, she poured out her heart on the perfect opportunities. And we hope and believe that she will be with us again next week to tell us more about these opportunities. You don't want to miss these opportunities. You viewers, you can get hold of me on charlesngobeni.com, or you may want to follow me on Instagram, Charles_Ngobeni, or even like us on Facebook, Charles Ngobeni. See you next time, same place, and God bless you.